Welcome back to Yo Nerd Podcast, the podcast where we talk about nerd culture news, share our opinions, and debate on pretty much anything. I'm Jase.
I'm Zion.
I'm Noah.
And just real quick, guys, before we start, we just want to thank you for all of the support. Last week, our episode was sort of a debate-ish episode, and we love seeing the comments in the YouTube, TikTok sections.
Funny. Yeah.
It was really good. So thank you for all your support. Thanks for watching us, and let's get into our episode for today. Last week, like I said, we did a debate. This week, we are going to just get into sort of what comforts us when we go to media, whether it's TV shows, movies, video games, whatever it may be. Just after this sort of stressful week with the election, and I recently started a new job, so yeah.
It's nice. We have all this content for various reasons, but one of the nice things is when you come across something that just brings comfort to you. Exactly. It's just like, I can watch this or play this or interact with this, and it just calms you down, kind of gets you settled after a lot's going on. So we're going to be talking about those and recommending those today.
Yep. And then at the end, after we do that, we're just going to get into our nerd culture news. So let's get into our episode. All right, guys, so we are going to go by category. We're going to start off with movies first, just like your most comforting movie, like the movie that you go to. Like, do you guys have a go-to movie when you're sick, or is that just me?
I don't know if
That's
I have a go-to.
I have a couple go-to movies. Like,
I want to hear this. Are they in your picks today?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
For sure. One of them I think is like, if you guys know me, I think it'll be pretty obvious. The other, I don't think you'd be able to guess. But my first like go-to movie, it's kind of two movies, but Into the Spider-Verse, for sure.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
For sure.
Into the Spider-Verse, that I could watch that movie wherever, whenever, and Across the Spider-Verse too.
Yeah.
Like, I could watch either of those movies
Totally.
whenever.
Yeah.
Those movies are amazing.
Yep.
So good. Yeah.
I'd say for me, the go-to for me movie-wise has to be the original trilogy in Star Wars.
Okay.
Episodes 4, 5, 6. For me particularly, especially number 5, I don't know what it is about that movie. I know there's a lot that happens. I know it's like all the emotional stuff of like, you know, the plot of that movie. But there's something about the vibe, John Williams' score in the background, the locations. Like, I always go straight to Luke training Dagobah. It's just, I'm just there with him. It's just like, all right, we're good.
That movie
We're
so
chilling.
good.
I love that movie.
Yeah.
But especially, like, I would say episode 4 and 5 kind of go hand in hand for me in terms of what's really chill. Like, episode 4, there's not even a lot going on. They're really just walking around the whole movie. Until the end. So it's like, either way you go, it's just something great to have on, turn on in the background, you know, great music, great vibes overall.
Nah, the most vibe part of that entire trilogy is the end of episode 6 with the music.
Oh,
you already know. Bro, that makes me like just feel so good every single time.
I don't know how it does.
Dude,
you're watching it, all the fireworks are going off and the terrible PS2 graphics of like Coruscant and Naboo. Like all these random places that you never saw in the original trilogy anyway. It's so good.
Did you guys know they changed the music?
Yeah.
That's because I watched the original.
My dad only brings it up every time.
Yeah, he does. He's the one that I found that out from. I didn't know they had changed the music. The new music's so much better though. Like so much
low key, it kind of is.
It is. It's
I mean, the original Ewok celebration
sure.
was cool. Don't get me wrong, but it doesn't match. It doesn't match that final scene.
It's so good.
Yeah,
it's so good.
What's your pick? Movie number 1.
All right, we're starting off a little weird. All right, because
it's personal. This is personal.
No, it just doesn't
opinion.
make sense because this is low-key like a dark movie. Like, it's one of the saddest endings of all time, low-key.
Oh gosh, what do you?
But if you know, you know. For me, it's Infinity War.
Oh no, that's good. That was. On
But
my
it's
list.
like the whole movie's a lot of death.
That's still a comfort movie.
But that's like my favorite movie.
That was on my
time.
list too. I'm not.
It's my favorite movie of all time. I think it's the best. It's just I can just watch and just vibe. I'm low-key vibing with Thanos the entire movie. I'm watching the movie for Thanos. Let's be real.
There is something about Marvel movies where, especially like the really good ones, you can just turn them on whenever and just chill out.
Mm-hmm.
Especially those Avengers
for
movies.
sure. Because there's so many different like storylines within the movie.
Exactly.
Like you have this Avengers team split up to like 3 different teams, the Guardians. It's just like there's so many different vibes within the movie.
Also, Avengers movies are especially good at holidays.
Mm-hmm.
Background on Thanksgiving.
Oh, every year. Somehow. I don't know
Wait,
who
the
turns
first
it
one?
on. Any of them.
Any
Not
of
2
them,
actually.
any of
2's
them,
never
yeah.
on.
No, don't
Age
turn
of
on.
Ultron.
Don't turn on.
Bro,
Age
you
of
guys don't like
Ultron.
Age of Ultron?
I love
Not really.
It's very
What?
It's
I
underrated.
was just
like-
about to say that movie's so underrated.
It's so underrated.
I'm not actually a fan of that movie.
I really like
love
that movie.
Like, I don't hate it.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll watch it.
Yeah.
And there's some elements that are good, but yeah, not a fan.
Yeah. I'll never forget for Infinity War, like after it first came out, I had a teacher like change my entire perspective on the movie. He was like, yeah, Thanos was the protagonist in that movie.
Yeah.
He was like, follow Thanos. He won at the end. Like, it
Yeah.
followed his story.
Yeah.
Like, the Avengers were the
Yeah.
villains in
Yeah.
that movie.
That's true.
It was crazy.
That is so weird.
But
Yeah.
that movie's amazing.
Thanos will return at the end
Yes,
of it. Yeah.
yes.
So true.
Yeah.
What's your next movie pick?
My next movie pick, you guys are going to think I'm weird, but like, whenever I'm like, I'm
Spider-Verse the thing we would know?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Spider-Verse
okay.
is the one you would know. This next one, it's also a Marvel movie. It's an MCU movie. Actually, I want you to just throw out a random
Oh,
guess at what you
no.
think it is.
Civil War.
No. I don't think you're going to guess it.
Don't say like Ant-Man or something. Is it Ant? No. Wait, I'm sorry. We're spreading
How did you guess that?
peace and positivity into the world today. Jace, wonderful pick. Tell us about it.
No, okay, all right. So obviously, I think Ant-Man is severely underrated. Listen,
Is this your sick movie?
this is one of my sick movies.
Oh,
I have
Jay.
multiple. I have multiple.
That's
But no,
hilarious.
because this movie is just so like it's fun. It's just
It is.
it's
It
fun
is
to watch.
super
It's
fun.
hilarious. It makes me laugh every time.
Yeah.
Like Luis, every single time. It's so funny. And then you have the whole like thing with Sam with Falcon, or I guess Captain America now, which we'll
Oh,
talk
yeah.
about in the news.
That,
But
Did
it,
Sam
that
dirty
movie
in that
that
movie.
movie's so much fun.
that is a really fun movie.
Yeah.
I always forget. I rewatched it maybe last year. It is so funny.
It's so
And
good.
it's just a good time. It
Exactly,
really,
yeah.
no high stakes or anything. Just
Exactly.
a good time.
Yeah, yeah. I think Marvel needs more movies. Like I think that's like I said this before, but I think that's what they tried to do with like She-Hulk.
Yeah.
They didn't execute it well.
Yeah, for sure.
But
Don't
yeah.
do it.
I didn't do
today.
anything.
Today's about comfort.
Ant-Man's my
That's
other
good.
pick. Well, I have more, but
Yeah. So my next movie, I'll follow along the lines of that. Sometimes you do just need a movie that you can laugh at, that just makes you laugh. You can have a good time with. That movie for me is the Lego Batman movie.
that's a solid pick.
If you have not
Valid.
seen the Lego Batman movie,
Might be the best Batman movie. It's second.
it's up there. I don't know about that, but it's up there. It's high. That the Lego Batman movie is just a great movie in general. Fantastic plot, characters. You know, it's super fun. It follows like the Lego movie style, but it's also genuinely one of the funniest movies I've ever
It's
seen.
hilarious.
Like, I know all the jokes when they're coming, but I still laugh out loud every time. Like, so I always turn on that movie when I just need a laugh, need to like, just let some steam off. It's a great one.
Yeah.
I'd highly recommend it.
For my next pick, once again, to throw the entire vibe off of this lighthearted and funny, I'm going The Dark Knight.
Wow.
I love that.
Really?
I love that movie. I probably
Wow.
watched it like the last 2 or 3 years, probably my most watched movie.
That's
Really?
crazy.
I've rewatched it multiple times.
I did not
Like,
know
I don't
that.
know why. It's just so, like, I don't get tired of it.
Dark Knight's good though.
It's just
Amazing
so
movie.
intriguing. The Joker again. Maybe
Yeah.
I just like villains.
Yeah,
Maybe.
maybe.
I'm
But
getting
it's
a little
like-
I think
concerned
that's
that
what
you
you
get
do.
comforted from
But it's
the
like,
Dark Knight and Infinity War.
Nah, Joker and Thanos.
They carrying.
yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. They carry.
Yeah, they do.
It's just a fun, like, not fun, but it's just always intriguing. It never gets old. And it's just a phenomenal
Yeah,
movie.
no, it is.
Yeah. It's super high quality.
Yeah.
One of the best.
Easily. Yeah.
How many more movies we got? I have 2 more recommendations.
2 more?
So
Yeah,
do we want to do?
We can do 2. We can just go
Do we
want to
do the same company? We all have
We'll
one.
do that-
from
we'll
this
do that
company.
last.
That's last.
Yeah, I'll do one more.
Which one? Same company? What do you mean same company?
Same company made a pick of ours. We all have a movie of theirs.
Animation.
Yeah. Okay.
Do we want to
cool.
do one more and then
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
that? Okay.
Yeah, let's do that.
Do you have one more?
I do. This movie, I'm pretty sure you guys have seen it. Because I know their sister has seen it. But it's Zathura.
Dude,
Yo, that's a throw.
That movie is actually.
Oh my
I'll
gosh.
never ever get tired of that movie.
I don't know when I've seen that. Like, or last time I've seen it.
Like a fever dream. Nah,
Dude,
that
that's
movie.
crazy.
Because I watched that I must have watched that like
Yeah.
10 times a month as a kid, like growing up. But I was always like, oh my gosh, like what if we find the like Zathura in our closet and we like play? It's like, for those of you who haven't watched Zathura, it's like a space Jumanji. It's like Jumanji in space, but it's so good. If you guys haven't seen that movie, you need to go watch it. It has Josh Hutcherson in it. So good.
Yeah. We had the board game.
Oh,
when we
did
were
you?
Kids. Well, we didn't, but some of our cousins did. So whenever we would go over to the house, we would play the game. But it was just a board game.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Obviously, nothing happens, but we would just honestly ignore the board game and just like all this crazy stuff was happening around. It was
that's
so
what you gotta
fun.
do as a kid. That's literally,
Zathura was a great movie. My last recommendation, well, not last, but my next one, kind of a weird choice for comfort, but let me explain. I'm picking Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. Now, the context of this movie and everything that happens, even a lot that happens in the movie, is very sad. Obviously, Chadwick Boseman's death. In the movie, several notable characters kind of die, and like there's a lot of sad stuff that happens. But the movie as a whole is a really comforting and cathartic movie.
Mm-hmm. Like,
it works through a lot, and it kind of gets you to this place of like working through your feelings with them.
Yeah.
I also just love the look of the movie. Like, it's probably the best looking Marvel movie to me. The colors are really calming, like lots of like blues and greens and like, you know, kind of muted colors and everything. But when you reach the end of it and Shuri is kind of spoilers real quick, Shuri is, you know, having her moment on the beach, you just feel like such a release of emotion after that. It's just, I always turn that movie on in the background, just like, it's just very calm. It's a great vibe. And also has one of the best songs ever released. Shout out Alone by Burna Boy. Side note, if you need a moment, turn on that song.
That song.
We
is
love
so
that
good.
song.
All right, can we do some honorable mentions at the end? Just real quick, because I'm realizing I have like one or two.
Okay,
too
go
many.
ahead.
All right,
Run
But
it.
we'll do it after our last pick.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Let It Shine.
Yes.
Disney Channel.
Yeah,
Disney Channel. There's gonna be a couple more
mentions.
Disney Channel throughout these
Dude,
picks
Let It
because I
Shine.
grew up like that was most of what I watched as a kid.
Disney.
That's
Like from like 8 to like 13, I wasn't allowed to watch anything but Disney Channel. That's
There you go.
No, it's valid though.
I think I've honestly turned on a movie so many times
No.
with no intention of finishing it, and I just sit there and finish it every time.
Yeah.
Like,
I've
dude,
seen that movie. I don't even know how many
so
times.
many times.
Literally, this was like 2 years ago. The Let It Shine album, like the album was my most listened to album that year. I'm not
That's
even
facts.
kidding.
It's you belong to me. Always sneaks its way into the top playlist. This always sneaks its way into your playlist,
That's
bro.
crazy.
It's so
That's
good.
crazy.
So good,
The joyful noise.
Yes,
that
dude.
one is
It's how
All
it
of
starts
it.
off. dude.
Guardian
So
Angel.
good.
Oh my
every
God.
single
man.
Don't run
they
away.
don't miss. They
Yeah.
don't miss. The
Yeah.
only one that
Good to
they
be
missed
home.
on was the one that.
I'll say it.
No. It wasn't even in the movie.
Self defeat.
Self defeat.
I
It's
haven't
not.
heard
It's
that
not
one.
exact. Don't never listen to it.
Yeah, it's,
But like,
it's not even in the
Home,
movie.
There you
But
go.
that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So good.
Great pick. Great pick. All
Literally-
right, we going to the
The
company.
last pick.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
We all know Pixar.
Mm-hmm.
Pixar's got to be in just your favorite movies ever in general.
Yeah.
We each have a Pixar pick.
My Pixar pick is none other than The Incredibles.
Mm.
My favorite Pixar movie, and just overall, I think personally it's a top 3 as in terms of like what's the best.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a few up there that you can debate, but Incredibles is for sure on that list. Like it, I love that movie so
it is
much.
a
Yeah.
fantastic
I love that movie so much. I can watch it over and over. I even like. Do you guys like Incredibles too? It's obviously
I
not as
didn't
good.
like it
It's
that
okay.
much. It's okay.
Like I
It's
like
good.
Incredibles too, but like Incredibles
Incredibles
one,
one's different.
Yeah.
So
ahead.
good.
What's
I
yours?
got to go with Ratatouille.
Yep. That's another one.
But that is my favorite Pixar movie. I think it's one of the greatest animated movies ever to come out. I don't even know how to properly talk about it because it's so good.
That's a masterpiece for
Just
sure.
turn it on.
For
But
sure.
the way that it conveys food too, like I was just thinking about it the other day, like the soup that Remy makes in that first scene in the kitchen. The soup, he was just throwing vegetables in there. Give me all the give me the celery, bro. I don't even like celery.
Yeah,
The-
they made it everything look so.
The
just like,
scene with him and Emil, what they're outside the restaurant and he's trying to get his brother to taste food and the colors swirl, bro. I could talk all day. Ratatouille, please.
No, you
go
gotta
watch
talk about
it.
the ending though.
Oh, which part of the ending?
You know what part of the ending? The villain,
Ego?
his last little, his like commentary
a
at the
great
end,
Ego's speech,
bro.
bar after bar,
Yeah,
banger after banger. Whoever was in the writers' room, they were feeling
Crazy.
themselves that day. Because Ego's review of Gusteau's restaurant,
so.
Oh my god.
sometimes I'll just skip to that scene.
That last bar was actually crazy.
What was
He
it?
was like-
Exact.
He was like, not everyone can cook, because the whole theme or like the whole thing of Gusteau's was anyone can cook. He was like,
Oh, now I finally
Yeah.
understand
Yeah.
what he meant.
yes, yeah, and he was like, now I finally understand what he meant. Not everyone can cook, but a good cook can come from anywhere.
Stop.
Come on
Dude,
now,
it's
bro.
so good.
Done.
It's the
Come
best.
on
It's the
now.
best.
Ratatouille. Go watch it right
Ratatouille's
now.
the
Right after.
greatest.
No, finish this. Then go watch Ratatouille.
Even if you have watched it, rewatch it.
Yeah,
Yeah, you didn't appreciate it
it's
enough. I
so
guarantee
good.
you, that
It's
movie's
so good.
perfection. It's so good.
So that's your favorite, also.
It's my
you
favorite.
chose a different one.
I
to
chose
let
a
me have
different
that.
one,
Thank you.
so we could all have 3 different ones. And mine would be Cars.
Another banger.
Another banger. Growing up, probably my most watched Pixar. My favorite. I don't know why. I've always felt like I'm Lightning McQueen. I don't know why. That's probably a little selfish of myself. But I always
Lightning
like put
McQueen is
myself.
this man's
But dude,
spirit
like
animal?
that intro always got me hyped, dude.
The intro,
Just how it
yeah,
starts,
yeah.
like so good.
Cars
And I
is a
watched
movie.
it pretty recently, and it legit might have been better than I remembered. Like
It's
I was
iconic,
expecting
for
it to be
sure.
worse. It's so good.
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
this is an amazing movie.
so
Yeah.
good.
Pixar,
Alright.
man.
All right.
All right. For my first pick for the TV shows, I'll be going with none other than Wednesday. This show is so good. I think I've watched it,
Bro, at least 8 times.
I think 8 times now.
at least.
And I will be rewatching before Christmas.
You-
Sorry,
he-
December 1st.
Guys, he just finished rewatching it. What's with like 10 days ago? Because you finished
Yeah.
it on
On
Halloween.
Halloween night.
When did Wednesday release?
2022, I
How many
believe.
episodes?
8.
You're telling me you have rewatched this show 8 times?
Yes.
since-
Okay, but when I say rewatch, it doesn't mean I'm just sitting down and watching it. I'll put it on the background. Like I'll be doing school and I'll just have it in the background. Or the family will be talking, I'll just turn it on.
Guys, y'all don't understand how many times like I've gone to his house and then I walk in and it's just Wednesday. This has happened countless times. He's
And it
watched
will
the show.
continue to happen until season 2 comes
Yeah,
out.
he's gonna watch it again. You're watching it.
Why do
next
you
month?
love Wednesday so much?
It's just an amazing show. It
That's
legit
all?
got better after the first time watching it. Like the second and third time, I enjoyed it more.
There you go.
Fantastic show.
Hey,
There you go.
there's your thing. Go watch Wednesday. My first one, my favorite show of all time, Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yes, sir.
I don't think there's a more comforting show than this show. It's just wholesome. It's like, not only is it the greatest show to me in terms of story and character and world and every element that makes a great TV show, but it's just wholesome. Great messages and just like, I think the world is such a great vibe to just have on in the background. Like I even had it on, it might have been yesterday. Like I was just cleaning up my place and doing stuff and just had it on in the background. And low key, I was doing work the other day. I was finishing up work. And I just put on like Avatar soundtrack ambiance.
Oh yeah, I put that on all the time.
It's just a vibe.
Nah.
It's so good.
There's this one specific video on YouTube. I look it up. It's like Avatar Lo-Fi, and it has like a Iroh quote right before it starts playing the music, and then it's on a loop too. I'm
Dude,
like,
I gotta find
nah,
that.
I'll
I
really show
gotta
you, dude.
find
It's
that.
so good. It's so good.
Dang.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out Lo-Fi too. Lo-Fi is great.
Oh yeah, definitely.
What's your TV?
My first TV show pick, I don't know if I would consider it nerd, but it's my favorite like animated show ever is Phineas and Ferb.
Oh yeah,
Dude, I've watched every episode of Phineas and Ferb. I don't even know how many times. Like it was just as a kid growing up watching that. And it's crazy because it's so repetitive, but every episode it's repetitive. It's like the exact same storyline every time.
Yeah.
But it's unique. Like, I don't know how they even come up with like writing this stuff.
Oh
like,
yeah.
the writers like Dan Povenmire is so creative in everything, every single episode. Even though it was repetitive, like the same lines, like "Oh, there you are, Perry," whatever.
Yeah.
But that show,
I think that was the charm of the show.
Oh, definitely,
Like,
definitely.
it was what it was.
Yeah.
And you got used to that.
Yeah.
And that had to be one of the best, if not the best, like childhood show that we had.
Yeah.
Besides Avatar, of course.
Yeah. Like the Summer Belongs to You episode of Phineas and Ferb. I still watch that.
That was
to
an
this
event,
day.
bro.
I probably watched that like a couple weeks ago. Not even lying.
I'm gonna bring up a Phineas and Ferb episode when we do our Christmas podcast in December. You already know.
Oh, I already know.
We're gonna have to tag team that
Oh my
one.
gosh, dude! Every year without fail.
Shout out Phineas and Ferb,
Yeah.
man. Oh, okay. What do I want? Oh wait, you want to go? Why don't you go?
Yeah.
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 Go ahead.
So next, I'll be going with Justice League, the animated series.
Knew it.
It's so good. I have been rewatching it recently. I've been replacing it with Wednesday. I've replaced Wednesday with this
You
until
kind of
December.
go back and forth.
Yeah.
Between the two.
It's so good. The way they do like 2 to 3 episode arcs like per thing was so smart. It has the best version of every character in the Justice League ever. Like, it's just so good. It's probably like I just remember watching it growing up. That's probably what got me into like superheroes.
Yeah.
Oh
Because
yeah.
that's what I was
for
mainly
sure.
allowed to watch.
Yeah.
That was like the show to watch.
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
good.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Justice League and Justice League Unlimited are probably a definitive version of the Justice League for me, for us,
Yeah,
people
for
that
sure.
grew up with that. Like, so good. Next up, I'm gonna do a different show, but it is one for me that's equally as comforting. The Chosen.
Okay.
I love The Chosen. Whether or not you believe in God or whatever, like, it's just a really high quality show that dives into the history of what was going on in that biblical time period when Jesus was on the earth. And it does so like in a quality that is probably the best that I've ever seen. Like, but this is probably one of the shows that I would say from a Christian perspective that does it in a super high quality way. And I would really recommend it. I've even I was talking to one of my aunties the other day who isn't, religious or have faith in any way, but she was saying like she really enjoys the show. So they just do a good job with it. So I turn that on when I just need to be reminded everything's okay. Just need to be reminded, hey, thank you, God.
Yeah.
We're good.
All right, my next pick. This is funny. This is funny because I'm actually rewatching this, like kind of like rewatching. I'm not really rewatching it, but Gravity Falls.
I've never seen Gravity Falls.
Dude, it's so hilarious.
Yeah.
It's the dumbest sense of humor ever, but it makes me laugh. I don't know why. I laugh every single episode. There's something that makes me laugh. I was just watching it before we started recording.
That's
actually.
hilarious.
But it's so funny. I love that show. Like, low-key, not gonna lie, it's pretty Illuminati, but like we just don't pay attention. Like, it's a kid show. It's a kid show. So
For sure.
yeah, that's my pick.
I got you, bro. That's cool.
For my last pick, bringing it back around to Disney Channel again, I'm going Bunked.
Yeah, you rewatched. Hold on, you got to clarify though. You got to clarify.
Bunked season 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Sometimes 3, but 1 and 2 specifically.
Noah, how old are you?
17.
Okay. We have to clarify that because he looks a lot older than he is. This man's still a young one. Go easy on him if you're not.
All right, let me explain though. Let me explain why this
He
is.
grew up with this stuff.
Let me explain. I've gone back and watched the stuff. But listen. Growing
But don't
up,
feel ashamed.
I'm not.
You
And let me explain
watch
why
your
this
comfort
is
movies.
clearly number 1 for me. Because growing up, I was never allowed to watch Disney Channel because him and my older sister got banned. So I never grew up with it except for like High School
It
Musical.
wasn't me.
My sister got it.
Got us.
Yeah. So I was 8 when Bunt came out. And I was like, Mom, can we try watching it? She let me watch the first episode and she thought it was funny. So she just let me watch it.
Yes, sir.
I was so secretly.
He was
this
so
is
upset.
my bad. I'm sorry. I was so mad. I'm like, this man is a little child. I have never been allowed to watch Disney Channel stuff, except for when I was young. This is besides the point. I'm happy for you now, though.
Yeah.
I'm happy for you.
This show's just amazing. I thought about saying like Jesse or something, but to me, this was like my Jesse. Like I grew up. I watched it before Jesse. I didn't even know it existed. It's just a great show. I've watched it probably. I actually don't even know. I was actually addicted. It was bad. I knew every title of the show in order the first 2 seasons. And
That's insane.
there was like over 20 episodes per. It was bad.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but that's all I could watch. Literally, I only could watch
fair.
that
That's fair.
for like 2 years.
Yeah.
So yeah, that'd be my comfort pick for sure.
There you go. That works. I'm kind of. I don't know. I have weird picks today, but I'm gonna say Star Wars Visions. Star Wars Visions was this project that Star Wars put out on Disney Plus, and they essentially tasked different animation studios around the world to create like their own standalone Star Wars thing. Like no continuity, no whatever, just you do something in the Star Wars universe. So the first season, there's 2 seasons of it. The first one was Anime Studios, and then the second season they branched out a little bit to do like, you know, different countries around the world, like their take on Star Wars. But I don't know. It's just like I always go back to them because I really enjoyed them. There's no commitment required. You don't have to know like all this lore or backstory or follow the whole episodes of a show. It's like 20 minutes of a story, 15 minutes of a story in and out. My favorite episode by far is The Ninth Jedi. It's, I believe, episode 4 of season 1. But overall, like if you like animation, if you love anime, please go check it out because I don't see a lot of people talking about it, but they're really high quality animated shorts. So yeah, and
Nice.
they're in the Star Wars universe, so
Nice.
I'm gonna be there anyway.
Of course. I don't know that I have a third one, like a third TV show. So we might just be able to move on. Honestly.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's do it. So video games next.
Yeah, we could do video games.
Okay, who wants to
Alright,
start?
cool. I'll take it. I'll start again.
Okay, start us off. Do you have any video games?
No.
Okay,
That's fine,
Me,
that's fine.
me and you.
All right. So this game, I have such like a connection to this game. Me and my sister always used to play it on our Wii when we were little. Like I could play I could play this like still to this day. I was playing not too long ago. It's Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga. It's such a good.
That is
such
great
a good game.
one. Yeah.
Like that, and also actually I'll save the other one for later. But Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga is probably one of my favorite games. It is one of my favorite games of all time.
Oh yeah, one of the best.
Just so great. Amazing game. Like the gameplay obviously is very like it came out sort of a while ago, but
It's just iconic.
It's just iconic.
I'll never forget the first level of the game where you're playing as Jar Jar Binks. And
Exactly.
You can like jump
super high.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yep. And then you got to do like Anakin's pod race.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah. Dude, that game. I played that game with my dad when I was a kid. And we had been saving all of our credits like for months. And he comes home one day and I had spent all of the credits on like bum characters.
No.
He was so upset. But regardless of that, he forgave me. We kept playing, but such a good game. Also, the new Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga is so fun. Like, especially 2-player. Play that game. It's a great one. My first pick for video game is going to be the Spider-Man games on PlayStation.
Those are good.
Spider-Man, Marvel's Spider-Man, Marvel's Miles Morales game, and then Spider-Man 2. I'm probably going to say Miles Morales for the comfort level, because
Yeah.
one of my favorite things to do is just, if I have
Swing.
15 minutes,
Oh.
exactly. If I have 15 minutes or I just got done with something stressful or whatever, boot it up, 10 minutes, just swing around the city. Oh, there's a crime going on. Let me just go take care of that. You know, especially in the Miles game, because the soundtrack, like the hip hop infused soundtrack, so good. Such a vibe.
It is.
I love that game. All the Spider-Man games are great, but there's something about the Miles one where that's my favorite one to just turn on and swing around the city. It takes place at Christmas time as well, so that might be coming up later this month too.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
anyway, yeah, that's a great stress relief game for me.
For sure. And I have another Lego game for my second. It's Lego Marvel Superheroes.
Really?
That was the first game that I played that was like, there was still, you had to complete levels and stuff, but there was also an open world.
Oh, yeah.
And me and my sister would always, like, once we completed the game, we would just always just do like the most random things on like in the open world. I remember, for those of you that play this game, there was like this sort of pier sort of thing, and my sister, for whatever reason, I have no idea why, she would steal this specific type of car. Like it had to be like a specific type of car, and then she would drive it to the drive like multiple of them on a onto a pier, and she would have like a business where she was selling those cars. Like you got like we were like 8, like 6, 7 years old,
bro.
like dude,
awesome.
and I was so into it. I would steal the cars too. I'd be like, here you go, and it was just so much fun. It was so much fun.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
Did you ever play Lego Batman 2?
Bro, I was about to
That
say
is
that was-
that's top 3 Lego games.
that would
Yeah.
be my comfort. If
A
I
lot
had
of people
one.
I think would say that's probably the best.
Yeah, for sure.
That's the
That's
middle
so
for the best
good.
for sure.
Yeah. No, we used to play Lego Batman 2, and he was always Superman, of course.
That's
almost ruined us on the Superman
it. Almost
theme.
ruined us because every time he would fly, no matter what, it would take whatever you're doing. It would take over the entire system and just play the Superman
You just
theme.
hear, he
I
lands.
actually got fed up for a couple years.
like,
I
no,
couldn't-
stop flying. Please.
But all I would do was fly from one side of the city to the other. I would go to the beach and just fly the other side.
And he was always so happy because Superman couldn't be hurt in the game.
Oh my god.
But there was one, so we would do like tag. Because
Oh,
it
yeah,
was
yeah.
also an
Yeah,
open
yeah.
world of Gotham.
Who would you use, Batman?
He would, of course, use Superman.
He
No,
couldn't
no,
catch
I
me.
discovered that there was one character that
I
could
hated
impact Superman, Man Bat, because he had a
Sonic.
sonic blast,
Oh.
and Superman, he would cover his ears and stop.
Oh, that's crazy.
Bro, he got so mad. He would be like, "Please stop being Man Bat." He was a little kid too.
I was
kinda
like
messed up,
6 years
actually.
old, dude. You're like 13 chasing me with Man Bat,
It's
dude.
true. I'm sorry. Oh yeah, all the Lego games. So good. Lego Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Lego
bro,
Indiana Jones, too,
Just
honestly.
Lego, bro.
Thank you, Lego games.
Oh, yeah.
Great
Facts.
memories. My next pick for a video game, I have a few honorable mentions, but I'll just do this as like a main pick, and then we'll just speed run through the rest. Ghost of Tsushima on PlayStation. One of my favorite games of all time. But I add it as a comfort thing. The story gets a little crazy, I'm not gonna lie. There's a lot going on, and the battles can be a little triggering. So you kind of have to get good first before it's comforting, because like you're on top of everything, trying not to die in this game. But just navigating the open world, it's a huge open world on the island of Tsushima, samurai game. It's just honestly one of the most beautiful games I've ever seen. Like the amount of variety in locations, they made sure every environment in the game was as beautiful to look at as possible, as peaceful to look at. In the game you navigate, like the navigational system within the game is like the breeze and leaves flowing past you. Like to tell you where to go, you just follow the breeze. There's even moments in the game where it has you do a haiku. Like
No way.
you'll go up to this location and be like, "Do you want to do a haiku?" And you literally write a haiku in like the most beautiful, overlooking this waterfall at sunset,
so
and like
cool.
music's going on in the background. It's just such a peaceful game. They really did a great job with that. So that's my final like main recommendation.
Nice.
But Yeah. Any others?
Super Smash Bros. For me. Honestly, I play that game online, and sometimes it's not comforting at all. It makes me want to like smash my controller, but I still love that game. That's my favorite game of all time. Super Smash Bros.
I'm happy for you. This guy beats us every time. It's
you already know.
But you know what? We'll do a tournament when we have enough subscribers. We'll do a live tournament of Smash Bros.
Let's go.
So
Run
subscribe, share. Let's get the subscribers up. My next, I have a few just recommendations real quick. Animal Crossing New Horizons. Fantastic game. Super peaceful. If you have 2 players or you want to play with your significant other, your partner, It Takes Two. It's a story that follows a husband and wife trying to repair their relationship. But I made it just sound super boring there. It's like they get transformed into these little characters and they have to like navigate all these crazy worlds. It's a ton of fun. I played it with my fiance at the time. Now she's my wife. But Kingdom Hearts 2, favorite video game of all time. I love that game as a kid. So fun. And then currently been really enjoying Sonic X Shadow Generations.
Oh,
huge Sonic fan. Yeah.
Nice.
Huge Sonic fan. So it's just comforting revisiting all the levels and games from my childhood and like revisiting them in an updated way. So that's been really cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then our last category, books.
I don't have any books.
You got any books?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you got?
So, well, comic books.
Comic
we'll
books.
say.
Okay.
Up in the Sky, Superman story by Tom King, I believe, right? It's one of the most like just calming and comforting stories I've ever read in my life.
Oh yeah.
It's so good. What's it, like 6 issues?
Yeah.
It's a short thing. It's not
like
some
5 or
long
6.
thing. There's not really even a villain until the end. Like you never even see the villain, but it's just a story of Superman basically traveling the universe to save one girl who got taken, and he just like, it's just beautiful. Like he just will not be stopped no matter what, and you just see his determination.
Yeah.
It's just a beautiful story.
Yeah. There's not many. Well, there's a lot of stories, but like I don't know of a contained story like that better represents Superman's
For sure.
whole ideology than that story.
Yeah.
Like it is so good. I remember you read it first. You were like,
I was like,
you
you
need
have to
read this.
yeah.
I was like, whatever. And I'm like tearing up in this story. It's so good. I have a few comic recommendations as well. I brought them
Oh, I was about to say, this dude.
just for a visual. First one, gotta say, one of my favorite comics of all time, Nightwing by Tom Taylor. This is just the first volume, but it's a lot longer than that. For those who don't know, Nightwing, Batman's protege. If you're watching this show, you probably know who Nightwing is anyway. But I just love this story. It follows Nightwing in Bloodhaven trying to become a little bit more in the city. And it kind of tackles the debate of shouldn't Batman be using his money to actually do something in Gotham? And it follows like the same idea with Nightwing. Like Nightwing, the backstory to this comic is Alfred ends up dying, and all the inheritance Alfred leaves to the Bat family. So Nightwing gets like millions and millions of dollars. Like he's literally a millionaire overnight. And so he kind of goes through the idea of what does it look like for me to use this money to actually make the city better instead of just fighting people all the time.
That's pretty interesting.
You know, so it's a great book. Highly recommend it. That's my first pick. Do you have another one?
Yeah, I got one more. The Thor run, not the most recent, but I think like the second most recent by Donny Cates.
Is that the one that I read? Or
Yeah, that was the first one that you read. There's like 20 more issues about. That was probably one of the first comic book runs I got into after like the first couple graphic novels.
Yeah.
But it just like it cemented Thor as one of my favorite superheroes of all time. It was like the first time I ever saw him represented in the right way, like actually being powerful, unlike the MCU. But like it was just an amazing. The colors, you guys can both attest. Like the colors in that thing are so really beautiful. The way they use his powers, it's just like I've read that so many times.
Yeah,
it's an amazing story.
Yeah. That is honestly like one of the best runs I've read. My next pick is Miss Marvel No Normal. This was actually surprisingly a really great book. I picked it up because the show was coming out, and I was like, I want to know a little bit about this character, but I'd heard a lot of good stuff about this book, and it did not disappoint. It's Miss Marvel by who is the author? G. Willow Wilson, I believe, and art by various people. Alfana Herring. Just tells a really great modern origin story. And it was very universal. I thought it wasn't going to be in my usual range, but it was. The character was great. The character's a nerd. Obviously, we know that from the show, but such a superhero comic book nerd.
Right.
She'd have a podcast like us if she wasn't a superhero, so it was just a great story. And then one of my favorite comics of all time, Beta Ray Bill, Argent Star, by Daniel Warren Johnson and drawn by Mike Spicer. I don't even know how to talk about this comic book. It is so good. Beta Ray Bill is a character in the Thor universe. I don't know if I really need to describe him, but I was getting into comic books, and this series was going on as I was getting into it, and it was recommended to me by, I think, my cousin. Shout out Trey if you're watching. I was like, okay, I'll check it out, but I don't really know who this character is. Never have I fallen in love with a new character as fast as Beta Ray Bill. In a few pages, you're like, I will root for this man for the rest of my life. The book is so good. It tells his backstory, kind of gives a glimpse into what he's going through now. And he's essentially a character who he had to undergo a really horrific transformation and turn into kind of this monster. But he's just a normal person, and he has to wrestle with I look like this, but I desire love, and I desire normal things. And Thor always comes and takes the glory whenever I'm in a battle. He has to wrestle through all this, and it's kind of a journey of self-acceptance, self-discovery. It's beautiful, and the art is fantastic. So
nice.
I would not recommend it more.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, glad to hear those picks. And next up, we're gonna get into our nerd culture news.
All right, so this week in Nerd News, we're going to be talking about the Marvel trailers that came out. Right now, D23 is happening in Brazil. So we're recording this on Sunday. We may be missing some stuff that's going to come out the rest of today. We apologize for that, but it's just when we're recording. So yesterday, Marvel dropped 2 trailers, the Captain America Brave New World main trailer, and then a special look at Marvel's Thunderbolts. So let's go with let's go with Cap 4 first. What did you guys think of the trailer?
That was so good.
Yeah.
It looked great.
Marvel might be back. We'll talk about Thunderbolts in a little bit, but even the Cap 4 trailer, that was that was good.
Yeah.
It actually looked like a quality movie. So I'm excited personally. It got me more excited for it.
Yeah. For sure.
But
yeah. No, it looked really good. I was impressed. I wasn't really feeling what I was seeing before, but I'm actually excited to watch it now.
Yeah. Huge difference in tone from the first trailer and this one. And I love they're kind of leaning into this thriller genre even more. A lot of people are comparing it to a 70s espionage film, and I just love that. Even watching the trailer, there was a little bit of a film grain on it. They almost made it look old school, or the lines in the trailer of old spy movies and stuff. And I think you were talking about how it made Sam look to me a little bit ago, but
I feel like the thing they've been missing is they need to make more of a distinction between him and Sam, or him and Steve Rogers. Stop trying to make him be more like Cap, how we're used to Cap. He's way different. He's not a super soldier. Yeah, he's a normal human with wings. I think they're really getting into that. What we saw with him with his wings in this trailer was phenomenal.
It was so good.
When he landed,
that looked so cool.
Yeah, he looks.
The action
great.
looks incredible.
It looks amazing.
Yeah.
And especially like he's doing stuff that Steve Rogers couldn't do.
Yeah,
in
that's what he
terms
needs
of
to focus
the
on.
flying and like I love
missiles.
that shot of the shield taking out the
Yes.
missiles. Like
Crazy.
they're doing some incredible stuff, and I love like all the stuff with Sam, everything they're doing with President Ross and Red Hulk. It looks so good. So
I'm excited.
yeah,
I really am excited.
and it's coming up fast. I mean, February is
Yeah.
like what
4
months away.
Yeah, like 3 months.
4 months. So yeah, we'll be covering everything here. But Captain America dropped, and then what do you guys think about the Thunderbolts trailer?
I also like that a lot. Like, I know, like Zion told us before a little bit what he thought, so I'll let him say that. But because I was excited for this movie to begin with, because I like all the characters, like Yelena, John Walker, Red Guardian, like Bucky.
Yeah.
I'm really glad. I think I said this before, but I'm really glad that they brought Ghost back.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
Because they did her so dirty in Ant-Man 2.
Oh for sure.
So I'm excited to see what they do with her.
And
for sure.
Taskmaster.
And
Yeah.
Taskmaster too, because they
Yep.
did him so dirty in Black Widow.
Yeah.
But those two characters, like seeing them come back where they probably have more control over their powers or you know what I mean. But I'm excited.
Yeah.
It looked good.
Yeah, absolutely. What'd you think?
It looked really good. Like I was a fan of it a lot. Bucky looked sick.
Bucky
Dude, when he
blowing up the car.
when he like punched the ground,
Yeah,
like,
or like
flipped
held
the
the.
truck by him. Yeah, nah. He looks great.
That was Winter
The
Soldier
redemption
Bucky
of
right
Bucky
there.
is here.
Finally.
That was
Finally.
2014 Bucky right there.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, I will say I think that this trailer threw me off because it was so different from the first trailer. Obviously, you have Red Guardian as comic relief. You know, even that was apparent from the first trailer. But I found the first trailer that they released to be so serious and so like dark and grim almost. And then this one was very comedic and funny. Like, especially everything they were doing with like John Walker. Like he seemed night and day from the first trailer. The first one, he's like going through it. He's all sad and everything. This one, he's like joking. He's cheering when Bucky shows up. Like it was just, it threw me off a little bit. I'm down for that vibe. I just didn't know that was the vibe we were going to be getting.
Yeah.
So other than that though, it looks good. It's kind of our new Avengers team, like a Dark Avengers. So it's nice to see. Everything's been so standalone for a long time. It's nice to see a Marvel project where it's like
Brings
Oh,
people together from different.
all the lines are finally connecting
Right.
with something. So yeah, I
Nice.
am excited for it.
I'm excited too.
Yeah.
I'm excited. When does that come out again?
That one is May.
Hey.
In May?
Yeah.
Cool.
So the next year is crazy.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
There's stuff every month. Andor was just announced for April.
No.
That's crazy. We're not going to talk about that.
Yeah, Zayed loves Andor. Noah's well, there was like a good 2
Unless they go back to
episodes.
that prison, the show's gonna
Yeah.
be mid again. Prison is the only thing that saves the show.
Hey, you did so well. We almost got through the whole pod.
Oh,
Don't talk about
anyway.
Andor, bro. Anyway, that's the news for this week. Next, we're gonna go to wrap up.
All right, guys. Like always, thank you so much for watching. If you're watching us on YouTube right now and you're not already subscribed, just subscribe for us. It would really help us out a lot. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, rate our show 5 stars. Give us a follow. Really helps us a lot. And go watch our clips on TikTok and Instagram. They're hilarious. They'll make you laugh. And yeah, so we'll see you guys next week with a surprise episode.